As a person doing accounts receivable, we need to be able to track our activities. One way we can do that is using CRM or D365 to do that. Today we're going to look at email activities for collections, email templates, the phone call activity within CRM, and other activities related to collections. Let's get started. This is an example of tracking email communication between you and your customer. So let's start off by looking at open invoices. I'm going to pull up an invoice here and go to the details tab. And as you can see on the timeline, it can see all the communication that's happened related to this one invoice. So we're going to create a new email activity. Let's say we have an invoice that's outstanding. So I want to send an email to the customer. So it automatically pulls up the associated customer for me. I can add a subject line. And we can also insert templates that we create. So if I go to insert template here, change this to the regarding field, hit select, and now you'll see I have a list of templates that are stored in my system. So I'm going to choose the outstanding invoice template. And as you can see, it says, please be advised the following invoice, and it lists the invoice number with the amount that's outstanding or due and the due date of that particular invoice. I apply the template and hit OK, and now it's filled in all the details for me, and I can actually go ahead and send that particular email by hitting the send button. So now as you can see, it's tagged our communication associated onto that invoice. To create email templates in the system, it's as simple as going to the settings tab, and then here's a list of all the templates I currently have in the system. I'm just going to pull up our email template for outstanding invoice, the one we just sent. And as you can see, it's very dynamic in nature, where I can have some text and then insert other fields related to that. So I could have the customer name, account name, contact in here. As you can see, I've inserted invoice ID, amount due, due date, and the full name of the person sending the particular email out to the client. We can also track phone conversation tasks related to collections, and also set up tasks for ourselves to do something related to a collections activity. So we can do that a couple different ways, but one way we're going to look at is going to accounts, selecting a particular account. We'll just choose Fibercam here. And now on the timeline, I can go to the plus button and actually let's add a phone call activity as an example. So it's going to bring up our quick create for us. Subject, collection, and then it's going to have the person who we're calling that's associated with that account. We can schedule this to happen on a certain date. So let's say tomorrow and a certain time that we want this to happen, 9 a.m. And we hit save and close at this point. And it's now going to create an active activity on the account. If I was to look at my activities, I would see that I have a collections call outstanding for me to do. And then I can go actually ahead and select that particular activity and actually close the phone call. As I make the phone call, take down some descriptions as to what that phone call was about. So we'll close the call. I'm going to go ahead and close this record. Now, as you can see, if I go back to the accounts that I was looking at, and we look at the Fibercam account, you will see that I have inside the timeline, I have a closed phone call activity. So we showed an example of a phone call activity and an email activity related to collections. Also, you can have different types of activities, from creating a task, an appointment, a meeting related to collections. I can even add a note onto a particular invoice or the account file related to the collections activities. If you'd like to learn more about collections and using CRM to do collections, please contact Profit by going to www.profit.ca. Thank you.